Hello. Welcome to DayMaster Deposit LPT with Dr. B. I'm Dr. B. If you are watching this clip on one of the other social media platforms other than YouTube, please go to the bio and click on the YouTube link so that you can watch the full video clip and comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also watch other DayMaster Deposit LPTs in the playlists. Live in your calling. Live in your calling. I believe God is moving on so many people. I believe He's moving on you, placing a sense of unease in your spirit to pursue higher levels of living, to pursue higher goals and higher aspirations. And I believe that it's time that you get up and begin living in your calling, not someone else's calling, not the calling of a loved one, the calling of a friend or coworker, but to begin living in your calling. You've been called to make a difference in the lives of your family members, the lives of those in your community, and in the lives of people in this world. And you do that through living in your calling. All too often, we find ourselves getting caught up in living the life of someone else's ideals, the life of someone else's dreams, and even the life that other people dream for us. And we find ourselves tossed and conflicted by living in what other people expect while putting our calling on the back burner. God says, I know the plan that I have for you. I know what I destined for you. How many times have you found yourself in dissonance, in conflict, internal conflict, existential conflict, because you feel empty while still working, while still pushing? You're pushing everyone's dreams, everyone's visions, everyone's aspirations. And internally, you're asking yourself, or you're asking God, but what is my place? What have you called me to do? What would you have of me? And God says, live in your calling. Live in your calling. Your calling leads you to your destiny. And calling is what changes a doctor into a healing. Changes a doctor into a healer. Calling is what changes a teacher into a scholar, into a leader. Calling is what changes a mom into a neighborhood mother. A calling is what changes a preacher into a civil rights leader, activist. It's what changes a nurse into a missionary. Calling is that sense of purpose and drive that you believe that there is something that's uniquely yours to do. And your calling is the voice of God for your life. So while you're working on your job or working in your ministry, working to build your family, there is still that calling that God places on your life. directing you. He says, I know the plan, directing you. He said, the plan to prosper, directing you. I want to encourage you to live in your calling. It will cause unease, trepidation. And sometimes it's scary to understand that God is calling you to step out in your calling. He's calling you to step out in your calling. But he's not giving you a fearful spirit. Take that energy, turn it into excitement and anticipation about the wonderful things God wants to do with you, through you, for you, and for those he's calling you to touch. Don't let other people tell you what your calling is. Don't even be fretful that you don't even know the details of your calling. God is not going to give you everything. We see right now through a glass dimly, but he's calling you, and you must, with right counsel, with proper advice, your mentor, your pastor, get good direction. But make no mistake about it. You have a calling. God wants you to live in your calling. Don't run away from it. Never run away from the calling of God on your life. God moves in such strange and mysterious ways, but he knows the plan. So don't run away from your calling. Don't be afraid of it. Feel it. Embrace it. Hear it. Again, get good counsel. Your pastor, your mentor. But embrace that calling. See it around you. God will reveal it. He will reveal it. People will be coming to you. He will put things and situations and circumstances in your path. Problems for you to solve, because problems equal opportunity. People for you to help. He will give you that path, that direction, where he wants you to go. So embrace it, feel it, hear it, love it, anticipate it, and then attend to it. Begin to nurture that calling. As I always say, study your craft, but begin to nurture that calling and go where it leads you. Go down those rugged, thorny roads, those valleys and those mountains. Go down. God has some wonderful, wonderful explorations for you. Some great experiences for you as you embrace the new dimension of your calling that he's placing you in. God does not work in conflict with himself. So don't worry about that. Oh, for sure, you have to figure out the exact details. Again, good counsel, good leadership. But you're called to greatness. Make no mistake about it. You are called to greatness. You are called to wonderful exploits in the name of the Lord. And I want to encourage you to begin living in your calling. Answer the call. You and your world will never be the same. Answer the call. Your calling, that's where ultimate victory lies. You want to continue in peace or find peace, continue in success or find success. You want victory. It's in your calling. I want to encourage you, no matter what's going on, don't be fretful. Don't fear. But make a determination. Say yes to the Lord. And begin living in your calling. Go master the day. Remember to be awesome. We are forever reaching.